Congratulations on the film. It was so much fun.
Thank you.
I'm wondering, in the press kit it had mentioned tailoring the script to Jennifer's sensibilities. When you came aboard, did they also tailor it to your sensibilities? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the action set pieces and stuff?
Well, it wasn't just the action. It was the nature of the sexual obsession. The script was very asexual when I got it. The story was about, but I read it and I said, if you're going to do a movie about a middle-aged woman and a younger man, then there's got to be a love scene in it, and B, it's not just kissy, rolly sheets, and you have to see what is the primal purpose. First of all, as John Ford said, print the legend, right? This is the myth. The myth of it is that you get a young man in the perfection of youth, and he gets a goddess who's in the absolute fullness of her womanhood. And I had an affair with when I was 22, when I first came out here, with an ABC executive woman who was 45 and a mother. And she taught me a lot. So I'm always sort of grateful to her because she taught me a lot about sex and women and, life. And it was sort of a magical mystery tour for me. And she got a very active, eager guy. So, it was a good deal for everybody. But the thing that made me excited here is, okay, let's look at sexual obsession and its mixed up idea of love, and look at it two people coming from it completely different directions, finding out that it's a disaster on Jennifer's part, but she's already tasted the forbidden fruit, and there's no going back from that. And Ryan, or Noah, his love of her is, at first, it's an all-encompassing thing, but he is a sociopath, and his idea is anyone or anything that stops you from being mine will be eliminated, because I'm what's best for you, and I love you, so I want you to have what's best. And that's why in the post we wrote that scene where she goes and demands the videotape back and says, what do you think what is our life going to be like? What is it that you really think? And then you realize he has no contact with reality by that point. It's just somehow they're going to go away somewhere, and it's going to be absolutely idyllic and passionate and perfect. And, and he's not going to take no for an answer. So it torques into the third act there. So.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
I was going to ask you, how hands-on was Jennifer as a producer? When she's on set, I know you guys we're meeting with the cast and all that together. But I mean, once you're on set, does she kind of take off the producer hat and just become
She
an
never
actress?
put on the producer hat on set. She had a big job to do, and her job was to come as Claire every day and create some aspects of Claire which were not native to her. I kept saying, she feels invisible. She feels invisible. And I don't think Jennifer has ever felt invisible a single day of her life, right? It's hard, to look like that and then say, no one notices me, right? So it was working against the J-Lo archetype. And she was very dedicated to it. I never had a more cooperative actor who really came to play every day, came prepared, knew her lines, was there to create and to make it happen. The producer thing, it's gotten to be there are 10 producers on this movie. It cost $4.5 million, right? It seems like the smaller the budget, the more producers these days. But so I think her company was involved, and she brought Elaine Goldsmith-Thomas and Benny Medina in as producers, and I think they represented her, but that's what I think it was.
Hi, Mr. Cohen.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you I really enjoyed this movie.
Thank
It
you.
was so much fun to watch.
Thank you.
And the audience that I saw the movie with was just clapping and cheering and laughing and just
I
having
heard
a
someone
great time.
yelled rewind after the after the sex scene, which I went, yeah.
I wasn't there for that, but that would have been great. What I wanted to ask you, and it's similar to something I asked Ms. Lopez, which was that your intent as a filmmaker, to make just a really fun, even though the movie obviously has some serious dramatic issues you're dealing with, make a really just fun popcorn movie that audiences can watch over and over again, laugh and enjoy?
Yeah, I wanted to take people on a ride. You know, I've always tried to do that. You know, I might not have always succeeded, but I always set out going, me as a viewer, I want to get into a movie and I want to feel the filmmaker grab me by the hand, and then we go running through this crazy world for 2 hours or 90 minutes, and then suddenly you're left out and you're like breathless, like, wow. You know, I didn't look at my watch, I didn't go to the bathroom, I didn't know what was going to happen next or whatever. And when those things happen, and that's why my films, they're always short compared to the films of the moment, you know? I mean, this movie, I think, is 89 minutes long, and as opposed to the 2 hour and 15 kind of variety. And I think it's because I just want everybody to have the ride and then not overstay and get off stage while everybody's sort of feeling it, you know, as opposed to, oh, now we're this, oh. And you can feel the air being let out like a pinprick in a balloon, you know, just going away. So I'm very happy you said that, because that was my whole intent here. Get them on the ride, never let them go, and deposit them safe and sound, a little breathless and maybe a little eroticized. Maybe people go home and have great sex, you know. Be good. Be good. You could say to your boyfriend, that's how you do it. That, not this other thing, this.
How was it to work on this love scene when they're making love? You know, it's to make it look natural, sensual, and with class. You know, can you explain it?
Well, it's a very...
Classy. Yeah.
No.
I mean, what?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Thank you. I like to think of it as, look, I'm like, you know, pro-sex. Okay? The only people I don't trust are the people that aren't pro-sex. Right, the shriveled up little people that we all know who they are. Yeah, I like people who really see it as a big part of life. And, you know, the problem was I felt that the whole movie turned on that scene. That it was like, and we shot one version of it, and Jennifer came really covered up, giving me almost no options. And I cut that version. It was poetic, but it was milk. It had no edges. It had no provocations. It had no stimulation. It was just what you'd expect from a Lifetime movie. And I kept saying to everybody, this is a Lifetime movie. You know, you gave me no options, so this scene belongs on Lifetime. And there's nothing in it that couldn't be shown on Lifetime. And then I had just said that to Blumhouse and to the millions of producers when this African-American couple came walking out of the theater, and one of the producers said, like, hey, what did you think of the movie? And the woman of the couple went, there was nothing in there I couldn't see on Lifetime, right? And I turned to everybody and went, see, the audience has spoken. So we went back. And I had a long talk with Jen, away from the managers, away from the producers, and I go, here's how deeply I believe in this scene being pivotal to everything that comes after, is we're going to get to shoot it again, and because Universal feels the same way I do. So, yeah, we did it twice. And there's parts of both of them in there. You know, things like her sinking below the couch is the last shot. That's part of the first version where you couldn't see anything. So, you know, so I went back and I said to Jen, look, the thing about this day is we're going to have this one day to shoot, this half a day to shoot this one scene. I'm going to give you my final cut on the scene. I'll put it in a letter. I'll give it to your lawyers. The first time, there were 3 lawyers on the set, making sure I didn't how much of her breast is showing? Is it the bulge? You can't see the nipple. Well, she had pasties on that were that big, So, I said, I have final cut. I'm giving you the final cut. Do the shots I want. Let's get into it and really bring it home. Then I'll cut it. You come to the editing room, just you, and here's on my children, I swear. If you say, I want that shot out it goes. I won't argue, I won't politic, I won't betray you. Look me in the eyes, I'm telling you, whatever you're comfortable with at the end result, we'll do. But give me the shots, because if I have the shots, we can not use them. But if I don't have the shots, we can't have them. We can't make it up because we go, gee, I wish we had something more specific. And she went for that, and Ryan went for that, and we did the whole thing. And, we didn't do the whole thing, but we did the whole appearance of everything, because I wanted it to be a love scene where his worship of her was what was sweeping her away. She's been jilted by the husband. She feels like a non-entity. She's been passed over for a younger woman. She married young, so she's only known John Corbett pretty much, and she doesn't even know where to begin. That's why the double date scene was like how awkward it is when you've been married for 18 years and dated the same man from before that, and now suddenly you're out on the market with there's a guy who looks great. The first hit of him is like, yeah, okay, good blind date. Handsome guy. But the more he opens his mouth, the more vile he is. And, I'm sure the women in the audience very much know that experience, right? Looks good, but's really terrible, right? And you get that in life, and men too, you get beautiful women who are nightmares, So she's got all these doubts and fears and vulnerabilities, and all he wants to do is love her and tell her she is the greatest, most beautiful, most amazing woman in the world. And who doesn't need that? And who doesn't hunger for that? And then in the love scene, he's not like her slave in a kinky way, but all he is there for is to give her erotic pleasure. That's all that gets done. He's not asking her to service him. He's really there to make her a goddess, treat her like a goddess, and worship her in a way. So, yeah, okay. No, thank you. I can feel the good energy, and as a filmmaker, you come into these things, and I've had good energy interactions, and I've had, you're a piece of shit, and you wasted our time, and all this stuff. So this is much nicer.